add a neck support if you'd like. And just come down onto your back with your knees bent. And notice how it feels to lie down, just to be on your back. And as you begin to practice yoga more, you'll start to be able to feel the sense of dropping in a little more easily. And what I mean by that is just dropping into your experience right now, just feeling yourself get ready or set the intention for being present in your body. So noticing your toes and your feet. Can you soften your jaw at all? Just kind of letting it go, softening your tongue. And then begin to notice your breath coming in and your breath going out. And then just move your shoulder blades down your back a little bit. You can kind of scoot and just adjust them down your back. You can put your hands on your lower ribs if that feels okay. So this is the part of the ribs that meets the belly. And as you take an inhale, can you allow this area to expand like an umbrella opening up? So the ribs are opening up in all directions. And then a long exhale if you can. You can try breathing out through pursed lips like you're blowing out through a straw. And then repeat. And just notice as you inhale how much expansion you can get there in that lower rib zone. And then as you exhale, you want to exhale not until you're gasping or anything, right? So just exhale so you can get all the air out without causing any strain. And you might notice if you can go a little further than you normally do. And then one more like that. Good. And then just relax your arms at your sides if you're not already. And just slowly let your head rock side to side. And if you need to adjust, if you got long hair and it's in a hair tie or anything, you can adjust it. And so you're just rolling over the back of your head and noticing the terrain of the back of your skull. If you're on a harder surface without a blanket, it might be easier to do that. You're noticing any bumps back there, any rounded spots or flat spots. And as you roll your head to one side, can you really relax your jaw? So it's almost like your skin of your cheek and your jaw hang down to that side with gravity. Good. And now coming back to the center with your head. Now we're going to rock the pelvis. So we're just going to rock it forward and back, not side to side. So as you rock it back, the low back and the back of the pelvis will press down. And as you rock it forward, you'll find a low back curve and repeat. And now you could add in some breath here. So you could inhale. Let's try inhaling when we rock it forward. and exhaling when you rock it back. And notice here, does the head nod slightly while you're doing this? Now, don't try to make that happen. Just kind of observe. Can you feel that the head moves with the rest of the body, the head and neck? Good, and now try to find a neutral position. So between those two extremes, and take an umbrella breath there. Good, and now let's straighten out the left leg on the floor, keeping the right knee bent. And all we're gonna do is press into the right foot. And when you do that, it'll be, if you had like pants with pockets on, it would be like your left pocket, back pocket, was pressing down into the floor more, and the right pocket, back pocket, is lifting up. So it's just a small movement. As I press into the right foot, my pelvis starts to turn to the left a little bit, and my right hip or my right butt comes off the floor. And let this be, if you can, a rhythmic motion. So it's just rock it, come back down with gravity. Rock it, and come back down. Good, now you could start to go a little further. So as you rock it to the side, you rock it to the left, you might be able to lift the right heel off the floor and even bring the right arm around. So you kind of roll over onto your left side and then control the movement coming back down onto your back, and repeat. Good, and then the next time you come back down, let's stay there. And exhale as you bring the knee, that right knee, in towards your belly, and just catch it with your hands if you can reach, or you can hold behind it. And let's use the right hand just to make some circles with the right knee. Now notice if you're still breathing, and you follow your breath in and follow your breath out. And then reverse the circles. Good, now let's come back to center with the knee. And we're gonna hold it with both hands. Now you may need more padding below your head for this. It just depends on how much of a forward head you have. But what we're gonna try to do is tuck your chin down, making a double chin. Good, so in order to do that, can you also press the back of your head into the surface behind you, the blanket or the floor? And now as you take an exhale, can you keep that double chin as you start to lift? And so what we're trying to do is activate the deeper neck muscles, and then inhale back down, keeping the double chin, and then just rest it for a moment. Relax your shoulders, take a breath in and out. So what we're trying to do is use the deeper muscles rather than the more superficial neck muscles to lift and lower the head. So let's try it one more time. Make the double chin. That's what accesses them, the deep neck flexors. Tuck it down. And then on an exhale, you rise up. And on the inhale, lower down. Then release the foot and straighten out the leg. And just notice the two sides. You might just kind of wiggle the leg side to side. Good, take an inhale and exhale as you bend the left knee, place the foot on the floor, and we'll start just that movement of lifting and turning the pelvis. So it's like you press into the left foot and the left back pocket area comes off the floor, and then you lower it back down. And notice how you get heavier on that right hip side, and that your belly will start to turn to the right. letting it be a rhythmic motion. Good, and then you can start to go a little further in that you let the left arm come off the floor. You start to press into it so much you sort of roll onto your right side, and your left heel might come off the floor as you do that, just to aid in the rolling. And again. And then coming down onto your back. Inhale there. And exhale, bringing that left knee in towards your belly, catching it with your hands if you can reach. And then making circles with the left hip and knee using your left hand. And circle the opposite way. Good, then coming back to the center, let's hold that knee with both hands if you can. And then inhale, just first try to get that chin, double chin action. So it's like, yes, it's going down a bit, but it's also pressing back, pressing your head into the floor or blanket. And then on an exhale, see about keeping the double chin and lifting. And then on the inhale, lowering back down. And again, double chin, exhale as you lift, inhale, lower. Good, and relax your neck, letting the foot come down. Let's straighten out both legs for a moment, just kind of waggle them. Good, and now with your arms at your sides and your legs straight, we'll try that double chin again. Now, if it's hard to make the double chin, if it just won't quite work, try putting a blanket below your head so you've got a little bit of a lift, and that'll allow you to bring the chin back. And then from here, see if you can look between your feet without any neck pain. So you're tucking the chin down and in a lift up, keeping the double chin. And just try to notice what muscles you're using, and then lower back down. And again. Good, and back down. Nice, and now we'll bend both knees. And let's lift the right foot off the floor and take the left hand to the right knee to hold it there. Now, if for some reason, some people have hip tension and they can't hold their knee, you could do this with your foot on a wall instead, or a piece of furniture, okay? I'm gonna take the right hand behind your head. Inhale. And as you exhale, can you wrap your elbow next to your ear? Tuck your chin down and try to lift your head and shoulders off the floor. And then inhale as you lower, and we're going to repeat that. So our aim here, our objective, is to try to make this movement as easy as possible. So we're not trying to do a ton of core work. We're instead trying to train our body, our core to work to support our neck. So you're going to let the neck be relaxed. And just notice if in your body, are you able to look between your legs? So it's like you're looking to the horizon point, and see if that makes it feel easier. And can you notice that your sternum in the front here moves downward to allow your head and shoulders to peel off the floor? So it's like the sternum moves down first, so the core is supporting and lifting, not your neck. Good, and then come on down, release the foot and the head, and just breathe for a moment. All right, now we're gonna lift the left foot, but we're gonna hold it with the same hand, the left hand. Right hand is gonna come behind the head. Inhale. Now as you exhale, we're slowly gonna lift the right elbow off the floor and the shoulder and start to come across the body with the elbow. And then inhale, slowly lower. And again. And so again, we're trying to make this as easy as possible. Can you notice that as you peel up, you're getting lighter on the right side and your left side's getting heavier onto the floor? And if you turn your eyes and nose to look a little more to the left, does it make it easier? And let your neck be at ease. Good. And then come back down. Release the foot and the hand. Notice if you're getting tight in your jaw. So if you have neck trouble, sometimes we tend to get a lot of tension in the jaw that's linked to it. Or you just might be clenching in the neck all the time because it's the place you're used to clenching. So just notice if that's happening. Try to soften and waggle the jaw a little bit. Good. And then inhale, we're going to lift the left knee again, or the left foot and knee, and place the right hand on it this time. Left hand comes behind head. Inhale. And then as you exhale, the elbow wraps around the ear. You're tucking the chin down as you peel it off the floor. Peel the head off the floor and lift up. And then inhale, lower, and repeat. Remember, can you feel as though the sternum is moving down to help you lift your upper body, your head, and your neck and shoulders? And what about looking to the horizon point between the legs? Relaxing your jaw. Good. And then the next time you calm down, release and pause, taking a breath, noticing. Good. Now let's lift the right knee and hold with right hand. Left hand behind head. We're going across the body this time on our exhales. So you inhale here and then exhale, feel that left elbow and then the shoulders start to peel off. You're not cranking on your neck, right? You're just feeling a sense of heaviness on that right side. And notice if where you look can help the movement. Even if it's just with your eyeballs looking to the right more. Good, and one more. Good, and then coming back down, releasing, letting your arms and legs go. Like just widen the arms a little bit and widen the feet, keeping the knees bent. And exhale as you begin a windshield wiper movement. Good. All right. We're going to be rolling onto your side, and you can roll onto the side that faces me the best to start. And what we're going to do, and you might need to press yourself up to get enough head and neck support. So we're going to be lying on our side, and sometimes you don't want your neck to feel like it's having to hold up. So I'm going to fold up my blanket a little bit higher, a little bit taller, and I'm going to make it long so it covers that whole part of my mat. And now, if you have a block or another pillow, you can place your top knee on it. So I've got my bottom leg straight, top knees bent, coming out from my hips straight in front. And I'm going to make sure I've got enough neck support here so that when I lie down on my side, that my neck feels supported. Okay, now the bottom arm is out straight, top arm comes onto the top. Both arms are going to stay straight for this. And all I'm going to do is begin to inhale, sliding that top arm forward on the floor. And as I exhale, I'm going to rock the upper body back. The top arm is going to stay straight. And then repeat. So again, this is a rocking motion. And what I find people tend to do here is they try to keep their head to the side. Instead, notice how when you slide that top hand forward on the floor, I'm just making sure you guys can see me. Do you notice that your nose kind of rocks down toward the floor? And then as you rock that top shoulder back, keeping the arm straight, do you notice that you can let your head rock back so the nose starts to face the ceiling? Good. So again, this is a developmental movement that's just exploratory, kind of getting your spine to work together and opening up the upper spine to support the neck. Now, the next time you rock forward, let's just open up that top arm like a book out to the left and let your head rock with the movement, and then close the arm. So you're going to slide it forward. You can just let your breath flow. You don't have to breathe in any particular order here. So as I open my arm, I notice my knee wants to rock back. I'm just going to keep that knee solid on the block or pillow. And I'm going to let my head rock so that my nose starts to face the ceiling. And again, don't force that to happen. Just let it happen if it's natural. Softening through your jaw. Good. All right, then closing your book this next time. And you can either turn on to your other side, just kind of rolling over, taking your prop with you, or if you want to spin around so you can see, you can do that too, okay? So do what works best for you. I'm going to spin around so I can see. Okay, so bottom leg straight. Getting my blanket. This shoulder might be different, or neck, side of the neck might be different, so adjusting as necessary. Arms line up. Bottom arm stays on the floor. Top arm stays straight too. And then just begin with the rocking motion. Feeling the texture of your floor. Noticing the head rocking. And just noticing any differences. I know I'm noticing a little bit of a difference on this side with how far I can rock back. Okay, now we're going to slide it forward, rock it forward, but then we're going to open it like a book. We're going to try to keep the knee on the prop. And just, you can let your breath flow, or you can move with your breath, whichever you prefer. Good, and then the next time that you close your book, let's just come over onto our backs with our knees bent. Pause for a moment and notice. And then let's straighten out the legs again. And after doing a little bit of that core work, I actually meant to do this right after we did it. We're just going to see if lifting to look between the feet feels any different now. So we'll start by tucking the chin down. Arms are just at your sides, making that double chin. And then exhale, can you allow the sternum move down like we practiced? And looking up between the feet. And then inhale, lower down. Of course, if this feels like a strain in your neck, you're not going to do it, right? So you're just working on strengthening those deep neck flexors, but also training the rest of your flexors, of your abdominals, to work as well to support the neck in this kind of movement. Good. Now, next time you come down, just pause and notice. Allow whatever the information you just got about your body to settle in for a moment. And follow your breath in. And as you breathe out, let's bend the left knee and just allow that foot to press you onto your right side and then all the way over onto your belly. And then scoot yourself if you've come off your space. You want to scoot over, feel free to do that, or get your neck support out of your way. Good. What I'm going to do is just place my forearms and elbows down for Sphinx pose. Now, there's some people come into this pose and their shoulders are up here by their neck, right? So could you press into your elbows and lift out of that? And can you press your pubic bone down and engage your glutes and breathe? Now, if this feels like too much, you just widen the elbows, come down lower. Okay, or even stack the hands. Good. Now from here, keeping that lift through the elbows and that engagement of the glutes, it's going to start to take the chin down toward the chest as long as it doesn't hurt. And then start to take the chin forward. Only the amount that doesn't hurt. Go slowly. Good. And let's repeat. So let's inhale as you go down. And exhale as you go up. Good, one more. Good, and then just come to neutral and then lower down for a moment. You can just pad your forehead with the backs of your hands and wiggle your hips. Okay, now you might need to see me for a moment for this next part. And some of you have probably done it with me before, but all I'm going to do, so I'm going to start out by just lifting my elbow like this. I'm going to do it with breath, okay? And then I'll be leading you to lift, so I'll press my pubic bone down, engage my glutes, and I'm going to lift my head as though it were on a platter, just with this right arm. But notice what I'm not doing. I'm not doing this. You see what I'm doing with my neck? I'm not turning my neck or my chin in any way. I'm not using my neck muscles. So this is what the hardest thing is to do for people with neck stuff, is they tend to over-engage and clench in their neck. So you've got to really get your mind in there and say, am I doing that? Could I just let my neck be weightless? And I mean, not weightless, my neck be heavy, my head be heavy, and I'm carrying it with the arm instead. Okay, so I'll cue you to do that. But if you find you can't do it and you just feel that clenchiness, stick with just the elbow. Okay. All right, so here we go. Let's put the right hand stacked on top of the left and then the forehead on top of those hands. So the palms are down. And then right here, you're just going to inhale and lift the right elbow if you can, and exhale, bring it back down. And again. Now already, can you soften your jaw and notice if your neck is clenched? Okay, and then bringing the elbow down. Now we're going to try to lift the head as though it were on a platter, okay? The forehead platter, okay? So what you'll do is first, inhale, engage your glutes by pressing your pubic bone down. Now exhale, you're going to lift the right hand off the left and use the rest of the back muscles to be lifting up and then lower down. You can use your inhale to come up. So you'll inhale, and you might even feel yourself pressing down a little bit with that left forearm to help you lift as well. Now just pause for a moment. You just did a couple and notice if you're clenching in your neck. Try to relax the jaw and go for it again. So inhale, pubic bone presses down. Exhale, you might begin by pressing into that left arm, really softening the neck and jaw, lifting up and down. So now we've got the back muscles that are supporting the rest of the spine. Good. And then coming down, Just wiggle the hips. And now let's put the left hand on top. Flip around so you can see. And we're going to do the same thing with the elbow to start. Okay? So inhale, lift the left elbow. Exhale, lower. Notice if you're getting tight in the neck as you do it. See if you can soften the jaw, especially the left side of the jaw. Okay, and then bring it down. Inhale, engage glutes. Exhale, you're lifting your head. You're lifting your head like it's on a platter. So you're not using your neck to lift your head and coming back down. So inhale, lift, pressing into that right forearm. Softening the jaw. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Soften the jaw. For some reason, this side is harder for me to let go of my neck, so I have to keep reminding myself to soften, and maybe I don't go as high. And one more time. Good. Now just come down and rest. Now I'm going to show you another one, so you can just get to where you can see me for a moment. So in this one, you have to be able to, for it to be comfortable, you have to be able to tuck your chin enough so that your nose doesn't smash on the floor. So my forehead's on the floor. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to have my hands almost like I'm going to do a push-up. And I'm just rocking across my forehead on the floor, but I'm not smashing my nose by using my hands. So again, I'm relaxing the neck. My shoulders are not up by my ears, so I'm not elevating like this. So they're moving down my back. I'm just rocking side to side a little bit. Softening your jaw. And again, notice any tendency to clench in the neck. Good. And then come back to the center. Let's inhale up to cobra. Sphinx. And then exhale, just crawl one leg forward and press yourself up onto hands and knees. Right, and we're going to have a seat, and you'll just want some stuff stacked up because we're going to try to sit with our legs folded back like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 blocks because I've got a knee injury going on. And I'm going to do this. But here's what you'll need. Hang on before you do it because I forgot. You're going to want, this is where you'll want a folded up blanket on your head. Okay? So you have to fold it kind of neatly in order for it, let's see, this one's not really firm enough. A pillow can work too. Right? I'm going to use my firmer one, and I happen to have this little head bean bag, which is really handy. This is great for neck strength right here. It's made by this thing called the Gokali method, and this thing is awesome. Okay, so I've got this little head bean bag that I use for this, for my neck. Now say that no matter how many blocks and pillows you put below your butt, you just can't sit back like this because you got knee stuff. What you can do, or if you have ankle stuff, you just put a blanket below your ankles. You can sit in a chair instead, okay? And you'll just be going from sitting in a chair to standing up rather than the movement we're doing, okay? So this blanket works better for me because it's got more weight to it, and so I can balance it on my head. Yeah. And so the idea here is that you don't want it all cockeyed so that you're balancing it like this, right? You want it to be straight up and down. So if it's not working and you can't find anything to use, then just use nothing and imagine it, okay? It's better than doing it cockeyed. Or it could be something like that, right? So this is that special head bean bag. It could be any kind of bean bag. You can make yourself a bean bag for this. That's just a little bit bigger. Okay. Actually, this is heavier. I'm going to go for this. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to try to lengthen the neck upward into what you're holding on your head. And exhale, relax your jaw. Good. Inhale, get long. Imagine you're one of those women and children that carry these huge things on their head in various cultures around the world. So you got a long, strong neck. Good. Good. And now let's try the umbrella breath as you're sitting here. So that umbrella breath, just as a reminder, is an inhale, expanding three-dimensionally through your torso. And then a long exhale. You could use a pursed lip exhale. Getting every bit of air out. Or you could use your ujjayi breath, where you can hear the sound in the back of your throat. Good. And now I'm going to try to move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to inhale to rise. And I'm going to exhale to try to sit back down. And repeat. Inhale, and you might lose your blanket. Good. And just keep going. I'm going to show it from the side, because what people tend to do is they tend to kind of lean forward like this and then come up, right? Can you try to come straight up and down? Remember, you can always add more blankets or blocks. We don't want knee pain. Keep going. You should start to feel it in your quads. And I'm going to show it in the chair, which is a perfectly good way to do it too, okay? So in the chair, you do have to lean a little bit forward because you got to get your feet underneath you, and you just exhale, stand, inhale, lower. I would probably do it that way with the breath. Good, let's just do 2 more in whichever variation you're doing. Good, and then come on down to your seated position and just get rid of your thing on your head. And if you need to, stretch out your legs, right? If you got a knee that's talking to you, just stretch them out or put them in a different position for a moment and take a breath in and a breath out. Good. All right, we're going to be coming up to standing. Now, you can move through downward dog if you want to, if that's something in your practice, or you can just simply walk your feet and hands close to one another. And then slowly bending the knees, getting your hands and feet closer if you're not already. And you can inhale, stretch your spine forward, and exhale, rise. Inhale to reach your arms up toward the ceiling. And exhale, arms out to the sides and down. Good. And then let's just inhale, roll the shoulders up. Feel the tension. And then exhale, squeeze the tops of the shoulder blades together and draw them down your back. And again.